For real, for serious, bro. I'm about to give you all the keys and security codes.
50 Cent just stepped into one of the biggest celebrity scandals of the decade, and it's not about beef or music. It's about Jay-Z, a hidden son, and a dark past he's been running from for years. For nearly a decade, Rymir Satterthwaite has claimed that Jay-Z is his biological father. But Jay won't take a simple DNA test. Why not? Because what's hiding behind that test could destroy everything. We're talking about allegations involving a 16-year-old girl, shady court tactics, cover-ups, and even drive-by shootings. And now, with 50 Cent backing Rymir publicly and legally, the pressure is boiling over. If Jay-Z's innocent, why is he fighting this so hard? Why is the mainstream media silent? And why is Rymir's life in danger for asking one simple question: are you my father? The truth behind this story is darker than anyone expected. Before the lawsuits and the headlines, there was just a boy and a mother carrying a secret. Her name was Wanda, barely 16 when she met a 22-year-old man in Brooklyn. That man, she would later tell her son, was Sean Carter. The world would come to know him as Jay-Z. It was a brief encounter, one night. Wanda says they used protection, but it failed. She never saw him again. 9 months later, Rymir was born. And for the next 8 years, he grew up not knowing who his father was. No name on the birth certificate, no support, no explanation. Until one day, Wanda sat him down and told him the truth. Your father is Jay-Z. It wasn't said with anger. It was quiet, heavy, final. And from that moment, Rymir's life was never the same. He didn't grow up wanting fame or fortune. He didn't want an empire. He just wanted acknowledgement, to be seen, to be told, yes, you exist. But the man she named, he never came, never wrote, never asked. And when Wanda's health began to decline, she passed custody of her son to Dr. Lily Coley, still hoping that one day the truth would be heard. But as Rymir would learn, in Jay-Z's world, silence is power, and breaking that silence would come at a price. Rymir didn't go to the tabloids, he went to court. In 2014, he filed his first paternity suit against Jay-Z, asking for one thing: a DNA test. That's it. No demands, no threats, just the truth. But what followed wasn't justice, it was a wall. The case was dismissed quickly. Judges claimed Jay-Z had no ties to New Jersey, even though Rymir's team later uncovered property records proving he did. Court after court tossed the case, citing jurisdictional issues and lack of standing. Then it got darker. Rymir discovered that members of his own legal team were secretly communicating with Jay-Z's lawyers. He'd been betrayed from the inside, not just by the system, but by the very people meant to help him. And still, Jay-Z refused the DNA test. His lawyers called it harassment. But under New Jersey law, refusing a paternity test can mean you're presumed to be the father. Yet no judge ever enforced it. Worse, legal documents were altered, names removed without permission, and witnesses silenced. One motion was filed while Rymir's mother was still recovering from a medicated coma, and it stripped his guardian, Dr. Coley, from the case. This wasn't just delay, this was suppression. And for every door that closed, Rymir kept knocking, until someone else finally answered, and that someone was 50 Cent. At first, it was just a few posts, a side-by-side photo of Jay-Z and Rymir, a smirk, a jab, but behind that smirk was a plan. Because 50 didn't just troll about this, he reached out to Rymir directly. He offered him legal firepower, his own team, his own resources, not for clicks, not for clout, but because someone needed to say, enough. And when 50 Cent speaks, the silence breaks. He posted a line that sent a message straight to Jay-Z's camp. A good lawyer knows the law. A great lawyer knows the judge. It wasn't shade, it was a warning, a public one. And suddenly everything changed. Courtrooms scrambled. Jay's lawyers filed motions overnight. The same media outlets that ignored Rymir for years, now they had to pay attention. Because the story they tried to bury was now backed by the one man in hip-hop who doesn't play by the rules and never backs down. There's a kind of fear, not because someone says they'll hurt you, but because you already know who's behind it. Rymir isn't a celebrity, no fans, no fame, no power, just a man carrying a name no one wants to claim.
And then after the lawsuit, all gunshots.
In a full parking lot, only one car was hit. His.
No note, no warning, just shattered glass, like someone sending a message. Stay quiet.
Dr. Coley says men started showing up outside her home, not to speak, not to break in. They just stood there, headlights cutting through the darkness like knives. The law may have turned away. The press stayed silent. But the people who wanted this, buried, they don't need words. They use presence, timing, fear to shut you down before you speak again. And when you're standing alone with no father, no courtroom, and a truth too dangerous to say out loud,
you start to realize, Ada, this isn't about paternity anymore.
It's about who's allowed to exist and who isn't. He could end it all with one test, a cotton swab, a lab, 2 weeks, and the truth once and for all. Yes or no, is he your son? But Jay-Z won't do it.
Not in 2014, not in 2018, not today.
Instead, he sends lawyers, he files motions, he calls it harassment. He spends millions to make it all disappear. But there's one thing he won't give, his DNA. Why? Some say it's the age. Wanda was 15, Jay was 22, others say it's image, his brand, his billion-dollar name. And some whisper darker things, that a DNA test might connect him to more than just a child. But Rymir doesn't want his money, he doesn't want revenge, he just wants to know. Are you my father? And if the answer is no, prove it, take the test, say it out loud, close the chapter, let him go. But you haven't, you won't. And that silence isn't just cold, it's cruel. Because it tells the world power doesn't need truth. It just needs you to shut up.
He's not doing this for headlines, not for attention. He just wants the truth. That's how serious this is.
But the silence? It's not just about a teenage girl. People close to the case believe there's something far more dangerous buried underneath. Something Jay-Z can't afford to let surface. And that's why the DNA test never comes. Not because he can't take it, but because he won't risk what it might reveal. This story isn't ending, it's unraveling, and the deeper we look, the darker it gets. So if you believe the truth matters, even when it's inconvenient, share this. Speak it. Don't let silence win.